Hi guys, welcome again to another episode of Beyond the Scenes. Now today we join you from the beautiful Hope Botanical Gardens and you're seeing us under a wonderful palm tree. We are here today. Our guest is Mrs. Marvia Reid. Now Marvia is an entrepreneur. She does hairstyling, she does makeup artistry, she does jewelry making, she does art, she does a lot of stuff. And what better day to have this interview than today, International Women's Day. So Marvia, welcome. Thanks for agreeing to this interview on Beyond the Scenes. And happy International Women's Day to you.
Same to you.
Thank you. Happy International Women's Day to all my women viewers and also the men who support you guys. All right, Marvia. So let us start with your journey. Now I've told our viewers how many things you do, and I know it started from somewhere. So could you share with us how your journey started?
Okay, my journey started when I decided I wanted to do cosmetology.
Okay.
But growing up as a child, my mother wanted me to become a doctor or a lawyer. So I actually had to work and send myself to school.
Okay.
Go to work in the days, working at a gas station, running pumps, selling gas. And in the evenings I would go to my cosmetology school. Leaving there now, I started to work, my first job, and she had to migrate. So when she migrated, I bought the stuff from her. She was the one who was encouraging me, you can do it, man, you can do it. I didn't have any client or anything, but she gave me her clients. So I started there.
Whoa, with them.
And then it was good, going on, doing my stuff and thing, but the name of my business is Marvias Touch Creation.
Yes, Marvias Touch Creation.
That depicts my life. So anything I do, whatever it is, art, whatever, my life is a reflection of that.
Yeah.
Because growing up as a child, I was adopted, and I did not have a posh life.
You were
adopted?
Rough.
Yes, it was rough.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I was given away by my biological mom at the age of 3.
Okay.
But the lady who took me, she did a good job in providing stuff for me, but I had to go through a lot of stuff, mental, physical, sexual abuse, and that shaped my life into a different person. So while doing hair cosmetology, I bucked up on some persons who, nice people, beautiful women who had low self-esteem issues and image problem, and they were so sad, and I got myself fixed.
Yes.
I had to do that because I am my brand, and if I am not fixed, I can't help anybody
else.
And when I saw that, I said this would be a purpose for me. This is a way that I can help women to get beyond whatever circumstances. If I go through it, then they can. So working with them, and just when people come to the salon, they pour their heart, and they'll just express themselves, and I have been able to encourage persons, and I see my purpose in it because it has also helped me to grow as a woman. To become a better person. The makeup came later down, because when you go to cosmetology school, they allow you to do
the makeup too.
But I wanted to do it professionally. And when I went and did the course professionally, when I finished, somebody wanted a makeup artist for a big show, and they called the
like
school
a stage
and asked,
show?
like a Deal or No Deal. Remember that program?
Oh, yes.
So they had 25 girls, and they wanted some good makeup artists. So she called the school and asked for, I want the best person. So I was recommended.
Wow.
And that's where it started. From then, I was introduced to working on films and stuff. And because I like to put out my best. And when you're doing anything at all, you have to put out your best.
Yes.
And you get high recommendations from other persons. And that was how I got into film. And now I'm doing more film, doing more makeup than hair. But I still do both because I love both of them.
And guys, when Marvia talks about her doing film, a lot of the movies that are shot here in Jamaica, if you go to the movie theater and you look at the credits, you'll see Marvia Reid as the makeup artist or hairstylist on those films. But Marvia, it's so significant that we're having this interview on International Women's Day, because to backtrack, you did touch on a lot of things that women experience, and we're expected to be strong women in society, but there are things that generally happen during the childhood or the adolescent phase that kind of when we grow up into adulthood, we still carry these things. And you did mention the sexual abuse, the physical abuse, and the emotional feelings that you'd have after having been given away by your biological mom. And I like how you said that you fixed yourself in order to fix others. And even though your family wanted you to become a doctor, you became like a different kind of doctor.
Right.
So it wasn't just like physical sickness, illnesses, cuts and bruises, but the thing that rises from within a woman, that when she dresses, even if she's having her worst day, when she dresses and puts on her makeup and her hair is combed and so on, it's a different woman come out. And you mentioned again, how persons would come to the salon and they would pour out. So I'm sure that avenue really gave you in a lot of ways that you could touch lives, not only older women, but women of all ages. Could you tell us like one of the most significant moments that you had, like the most significant experience you had while maybe doing makeup or hair, and you were able to touch somebody's life?
I think for me, the experience of watching myself evolve into a professional, just getting myself fixed in the sense that I knew I had a problem and I couldn't function as a business person without sorting that out first.
Wow.
And of course I'm a believer, and God helped me a lot in overcoming some of the stuff, because sometimes in life you go through things and it's just God alone can help you to overcome.
Definitely.
So I really watched myself just evolve, and I can't believe when I look back now, I said, boy, it's not the same Marvia back then, So as my business evolves, I am also evolving, and the impact that I have on lives, it tells me that I have a purpose. And I was happy that I got myself sorted out before I ventured into becoming a businesswoman, because it does affect your business. It affects how you relate to people, how you I've been to business places, and the way, the attitude and the tone, I can tell that people have issues. And I'm not going around to fix people, but I understand why is it they would behave a certain way. So I'm more patient with people, I have more compassion for people, because I know what it feels like. And that is why I put so much into whatever I'm doing. If I'm making a piece of jewelry, I want the person to feel special about themselves. If it's a piece of art, it has to speak to something that depicts life. Because life is important, and for too many women, they're robbed of enjoying life based on circumstances, things that has happened to them, and they're just stuck, But we can get beyond that.
Okay, what were some of the things that you did? I don't know if you sought like professional help, but what were some of the things that you implemented in your life that helped you to overcome and evolve?
Okay, so first I did a session in counseling. I had to do counseling because you just have to just sit and talk about some of the stuff. Some of them are painful to talk about, but it does help to go to a counselor and talk. You don't know the person don't know anything about you, so you feel more comfortable. And sometimes people who you know don't understand, but they're trained professionally to do that. And most of all is my belief in God. I believe that I have a purpose, and the things that God says about me is what I build my life upon. So He says He knew me from before I was born. So even though I was adopted, He had a plan. And the plan was such a good plan that even the situation of being adopted, it was the lady's mother who introduced me to Christ. And from that, it's like it shaped and molded my life in a different way. So a lot of things I've gone through, I give glory to God, because He's the one who really helped me. But it is very important to get yourself sorted out. You can't be. I am my brand, so if I don't, if I'm not fixed, if I'm not healed, I can't impact the life of other women and other persons. And I mean, in the church, sometimes you go to church and for some reason you might feel like you can't function in certain jobs or whatever, but if you are being built and if you are mature enough, you can work in any environment. And I've experienced a lot of that, and I have gained a lot of value from just being out there working around anybody and just watching myself just grow. So I am giving back, and I'm also gaining from it.
At the same time. And I like what you said about you being your own brand and ensuring that you're fixed first, because nowadays, you have a lot of people who are doing a lot of things. Sometimes it's because someone else is doing it. So it's not really a passion, or it's not something that you've taken the time to discover whether or not it's purposeful. How do you navigate that as an artisan, someone who has broad reach, who's multifaceted? How do you, take the time to figure out what it is that you want to do, and how do you, perfect it?
Okay, so when you're very creative, God is the creator, and I am a believer, so I have to get some of that quality from Him, right?
Yes, definitely.
So when you're all over the place doing a lot of things, there was one point in my life when people used to say, you're all over the place doing this and doing that, but I like to create beautiful things. I like to see beauty. I like to just see people smiling and happy, so whatever I do, I think about that. I think about the person and how it will impact them, how it will make them feel. So anything at all I'm doing is about beauty and creativity. I depend a lot on just the feedback of, oh wow, this is so nice, and I can see the change in them, and it makes me feel better, and it gives me the confidence as a business person to do better on my job.
So you move now, and it's not moving like you're doing one thing and then another thing. You're doing all things at the same time. Or you started as, the hairstylist, and then you went into makeup. And we did mention to our viewers that you create jewelry and you draw like art. How did those come into play?
Alright, so when you go to school, you're training for a period of time. I am a person who I don't like to stay doing one thing. I get bored very easily, and I have a very active mind. So I would go to workshops. It's very important as an entrepreneur to keep building on what you already have. And to be honest, when you're in a space with other creative people, you'll be surprised the things that pops up. It's like, I really can't do this. This is in me. So you don't just settle for where you start. Build on it.
I love that.
Spend some money, invest. It doesn't matter how much it costs. Just look at it as an investment. So I used to do jewelry, and I wanted to learn to do wire jewelry. So I went and did a workshop. And when I did the workshop, I realized, whoa, I can actually do this thing. So I don't stay one place. I keep growing. I like to grow. I like to mature. So whatever I'm doing, I go and do a workshop if I don't know. And sometimes things the talent is just there, and it is there, but you still have to invest and build on what you have to make it perfect. Because the perfect finish is what is important.
Or how would you encourage, other persons, younger people, persons like yourself who, maybe stuck in a particular mindset, thinking that they can only do one thing? What would you say to them to encourage them?
The sky is the limit, and God is the creator, and there are a lot of things inside of us, especially when we're creative people, that we can't stop at one place. And as Christians or believers, we are the light. And the scripture says, go out in the highways and the byways. That could be anywhere out there. And once you're built in a particular way, it's okay for you to go in any space and function, because once you're okay, you're shining your light. I don't go around and tell people that I'm a believer. I just do my work.
Just be
I encourage. I just be me, because I'm being built to help other people. So I see my purpose in that. I see my purpose in doing art. I see my purpose in doing hair, makeup, whatever it is I'm doing. I see my purpose in it, because I see results from it. I see the impact it has on people as I engage, as whatever. I see the impact, so I know it's real. And God guides me a lot when I'm doing it. So I know the effect that it has. Wonderful.
And you've had a lot of success in the business itself.
Oh yes, yeah man. And the victory for me is just seeing people change after interacting, and just getting the opportunity to go to expos and just getting out there and putting my business out there, getting to know who Marvia is, who nobody never know from before, and it just builds my confidence. And that is very important when you're an entrepreneur. You have to be confident and believe in what you do. And that's how you impact other lives. Focus on your gifts and talent and what you can do. There's a scripture that talks about your gifts and talent taken before kings. I experienced that, so I can say it does work.
Yeah.
Because some of the places and the experiences and opportunities that I have received is because of that.
Yes, because of that. Yeah. I mean, Marvia, like I said, International Women's Day. It's not, we're not interviewing someone that is, highly talked about and so on. But here we have like a woman who has still overcoming, who took, the personal responsibility to work on herself so that what she can give to someone else, it would be better advancement for that person. So I want to thank you for this, Marvia. And when we come back, we'll just talk a bit more about, the Marvia, the wife, the Marvia, the family woman, and so on. All right, thank you, viewers.